YouTubers, and welcome to another Batmanmarch vlog. This is going to be my last video, or more than likely, for this year, and the reason being, well, that's what this whole video is about. So I'll start off with that. The schedule that I had originally posted in my previous vlog, which whenever that was, a little while ago now, a couple of months or something, I basically said, oh, I've got all these plans, oh, this is coming out here, and blah, 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 blah. Well, basically, all that's out the window. University this year has been very, very busy. We've just finished the first half of the second academic year, and it's been very hectic. And it's going to get a lot worse after Christmas because that's when all the deadlines for things are in, and I basically have no time to do any filming, any editing. I can't remember the last time I edited anything, it's been so long, and really now all I get to do is a bit of script writing when I've got a spare 5 minutes, and a bit of filming when I've got a free evening to myself, and yeah, I've had no time to do absolutely anything. The scripts for the Paul McGann stuff are, you know, coming. Just on the penultimate story now, so there's only 3 more episodes to write. I've filmed over half of Teranova, and ideally, the whole original schedule was that Teranova was going to be today. You would have been watching part 1 or the trailer today. Unfortunately, none of the footage that I've filmed has even touched the editing software. It's nowhere near Sony Vegas Pro. It's all ready, but I'm still waiting on some outside voices to come in. I've not even recorded my dialogue for the story yet. But I filmed over half of it, so it's ready, and I'm hoping to try and start editing that this Christmas. I've got 3 weeks off. But I do have a lot of work to do as well, so I need to try and balance that out at the same time. But fingers crossed, I'll hopefully have maybe episode 1 and 2 edited over Christmas, if not more. So I'm hoping that Teranova is going to come out in January. The next thing I need to mention is, because I'm so busy at the moment, I'm gonna have a long time before I can really get my teeth into doing this Paul McGann Series 3. And I'll talk about that in more detail later, but for the moment I'm just going to talk about what's happening schedule-wise. It's a big project, this 3rd season. It's much bigger than anything I've ever done before. It's a lot bigger than, yeah, anything. And I write these things down on Word, and I read them back, and I think, yeah, I can do that. But we'll see. So it's going to take a long time, and I don't know when I'll get the time to... I don't think the filming of it is going to be so much of a problem, it's the editing. Editing takes a long time. This series is extremely effects heavy. When you compare it to Teranova, which is a Pat Troughton story, which is, you know, not overly effects heavy, and then you've got this massive Time War battle with Dalek ships fighting Time Lord fleets and things, yeah, it's going to be hard. That is one thing that I'm not sure when that will happen. It will happen next year, but I don't know what point during next year. So that leads me on to the other things that I've said about. Namely, the 11 Doctors. Now, I said in my previous video, oh, I've got this idea for an 11 Doctors story, it's going to come out on the 23rd of November, it's going to celebrate 50 years, blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's not going to be happening. I love for it to come out next year, I'd love for it to come out on November the 23rd. Realistically, it ain't going to happen. I haven't written a script for it yet because I'm too busy doing work and trying to finalise the Paul McGann stuff. Filming the Paul McGann stuff is going to take up a lot of time, and by the time I've probably filmed it all, edited it all, November 23rd will have probably come and gone. So I will have no time to write, film and edit an 11 Doctors story, which is going to be long anyway, and do everything else that I have to do. So I'm afraid 11 Doctors is out the window for 50th anniversary celebrations. I'm hoping, I mean, I'm still planning to make it. I mean, if it ends up being too similar to whatever the BBC have got planned, then I'll just chuck it out the window. But I do plan to make it, hopefully. But chances are you probably won't see it in 2013. Chances are it will probably be 2014. But, you know, we'll have to see. If I can get it for 2013, well, I'll do my best. But realistically, it isn't going to look like that, I'm afraid, because my work for university is far more important than making these videos. And, you know, it's far more important than celebrating a television show's birthday. So that's that. The other thing I need to mention is the Sylvester McCoy season. That won't be happening in 2013 either now, so cross that off. That'll be happening 2014. Again, I've got no scripts. I've got one script, and even that I'm not happy with. I'll probably end up going back to it and rewriting it again. That's Golgotha. So, yeah, basically everything I'd said before is out the window. So, just as sort of an aside from that, my YouTube channel at the moment, you know, there's like the comments section within the channel. If you're watching this now, that is now gone. I've deleted that. The reason being is because it's not very user-friendly anymore. YouTube keeps changing. It's not really a user-friendly place. I barely ever go onto YouTube these days unless it's to upload a video. So what I'm going to do is, down below in the description box, you will find a link to my Facebook page, not my personal Facebook page, but to the group page for Batmanmarch Doctor Who Action Figure Adventures. I post on there in and out. I think we've got about 50 odd members at the moment. So if you want to keep receiving updates and things on new videos, what I'm doing, have I finished writing a script, this is a title being revealed, you know, I do things like that, and people talk about Doctor Who and stuff on there, and about new toys and spoilers from the series and stuff. So if you want to find out more about that, then please join the group, because it would be great to have you there. And you know, you wouldn't have to wait for me doing another vlog in 4 months' time saying, oh, actually guys, I can't make this now because life's too busy. So you just know straight away. So please do join the group, that'd be great. That's it on the schedule side of things. So now we're just going to talk about a few other different bits and pieces, like recent videos and things like that, because I know there's a few things that people are interested in. So I'm going to start off with talking about Batman. So, really pleased with the way the Batman series was received. It was obviously something quite different. Some episodes did better than others, which was to be expected. That was the nature of the beast. I didn't really know what people would want to see. So it was really much sort of like testing the waters to see what people responded well to, what they were a bit more lukewarm to. So that will hopefully, you know, make me sort of think more when I come to write Series 2, that I'll know the sort of stories you guys are after. At the moment, I haven't written anything for Series 2. I do have a sort of few ideas floating around, sort of like the bare bones of some stories. And I know Catherine's working on a new story as well, which I know you'll all be very happy about. Obviously there are some elements in the series, like the Hush Riddler thing, that will all be picked up in Series 2, should Series 2 get made. That will probably not be until, I don't know, 2014 at the very earliest. Maybe later than that. But we'll have to see. Because obviously I need to write it all. So I was really pleased with it. I'm really pleased that you enjoyed it, that you really liked it and you accepted it, because I know obviously a few of you were like, well, we shouldn't be doing Batman, you should be just doing Doctor Who stuff. But I wanted to do something different. And yeah, I was really happy with it. And I'm glad you guys enjoyed it, and if you haven't watched it, please check it out, because you might enjoy it too. So yeah, Batman, really pleased with that. I know that some of you have asked about me doing a Hot Toys Batman animation, because I had mentioned that before. I do have a script outline for a Batman Hot Toys short. Unfortunately, that will not be happening now because I have no time to film it, so I'm afraid that's out the window, but who knows, maybe I'll get it out of storage at one point and do it in the future. Also on the subject of Batman, Kat has made a video that she's going to be posting up soon, talking about her Batman script, which was the Maximum Foe with the Mad Hatter. And she's going to talk a little about what the original story was and how the original script differed from what you guys saw on screen and that kind of thing. And she's also going to ask about something else, which I'm also going to ask about in a sec. So please check that out. I've posted the channel link in the comments section below, so you can all find it. Next thing, Doctor Who. Obviously I've already talked about Teranova, probably not coming out till January now at the earliest. So that's that. And of course, Paul McGann, the new series of Paul McGann stories. Obviously I posted the new teaser trailer on Saturday last week. That was something that I'd quickly put together because I knew all of my videos are now, not coming as soon as I'd thought, so I quickly put that together as a little teaser for you lot. And of course this got a lot of questions from people because there were some new elements to it that people weren't expecting, namely the Eighth Doctor in his Dark Eyes Big Finish costume. Well, it's actually the costume that he had made for a convention, but now being adopted by Big Finish. So a lot of people weren't expecting me to use this. I think they were all probably expecting that I would use the normal Paul McGann figure. And originally this was actually a very, very recent idea. I hadn't originally intended to do this, but then when I saw a few weeks ago, or whenever it was, that, but no, it was ages ago, it was months ago, when Big Finish first revealed the box cover for Dark Eyes, and it had this Paul McGann, I thought, well, evidently the BBC have approved the image. Obviously they have to have their say on the costume, and obviously the BBC said, yeah, that's fine, which makes me think that possibly if Paul McGann was to come back next year, he might be wearing something like this. So I thought, well, just in case, I'll use that costume. It's not really a costume. I don't really like it myself. I don't mind the coat, but I don't really like the leather, and I don't like the jeans, and there's just elements of it I don't like. I don't really like the little handbag that he's got going on either. But I thought, well, I'll incorporate it into the story, and there is a reason for why he does it, and looking at the scripts now and like where the stories go, it does make a lot more sense that he would drop the nice velvet jacket and the cravat and the waistcoat, and he'd go for something a bit more practical for when you're fighting armies of Daleks and whatnot. So I'll talk a bit more about him. I know a lot of people have been asking about him, like, how did you make him? How did you make him? And I know there's some people who said, oh, is this. Basically, it is just the Eighth Doctor figure with a few additions and a few alterations. I know people were sort of saying, oh, I think he's used the legs off of this figure and he's used the hair off of this figure. It isn't. It is just the Paul McGann figure. The satchel came from a Primeval figure, I think. I bought a big bulk lot of Primeval figures online, and this satchel just happened to come with it, and that was it. When I saw that, I was like, oh, I'm going to have to make this figure now. But the hair, I don't know how well you can see this on here. Probably slightly out of focus. But the hair was I just removed the original Paul McGann hair and resculpted that. And the coat is just the normal coat. This here is actually rubber from a rubber glove that I glued across, which means he can still move his legs, he's still got articulation, it's not hindered by the coat. And then all this was recreated. I also made sure that the lapel here stuck up because in all the photographs Paul happens to keep the strap under there. So that's Dark Eyes Paul McGann. He's not quite finished, I need to make his wooden sonic screwdriver for him, but he's practically done. So all that gets explained within the series. He starts off wearing the proper TV movie costume, and then he adopts that about halfway through, and that's what he wears until the very end. Let me see, what can I talk about? Because I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil it all. Obviously people are now asking, oh, I thought you weren't going to do the Time War, is this the Time War, is it this, is it this? Yes, it is the Time War. Am I going to do the Time War? Kind of. I'm not doing like the whole thing because that's just weird and mad and wouldn't be possible. I'm basically looking at key events throughout the Time War. So you won't see everything. They'll talk about things, they'll talk about this battle, or they'll talk about this, or you'll see the end of a story that you don't actually see. And they'll talk about epic battles, but you won't actually see these epic battles because it's not possible. And you'll see the more key moments of the war, and the more like intimate, emotional moments, I hope, that come from that. But there are, battles and things, so it's not all just little mini stories. But if you know your new series lore, then you'll start to hear things that will immediately go, oh, I know what that is. So, for instance, if I just take you through the list of the episodes, the first story is Rebirth, which I've talked about before. That carries on straight away from where Resurrection of the Cybermen finished off, straight away in the console room. And then that deals with what happens with the Master now that he has this power of the Eye of Harmony. After that, there is an Earthbound story called The Sirens of Axos, which is all about the Axons, obviously. So they make a comeback. After that, we have War Drums, which is all about a certain war, or the start of a certain war. And then after that, we have The Treasure of Mars, and that features the return of everybody's favourite Martians, the Ice Warriors. And then after that, we have The Gates of Elysium. So, if you know your new series lore, like I just said, you'll know what the Gates of Elysium are and how that works in with the whole Time War story. And then after that, we have another story that I can't tell you what the title is because that will ruin the surprise. And then we have the penultimate story, which is the one that I'm writing now, which was originally going to be called Time Wound. That's gone because the story's changed. The story is now known as Rise of the Time Lords. And then to finish off the series, we have another two-parter called The End of Days. And then that's it. That's it for Paul McGann. I won't be visiting the Paul McGann universe of Doctor Who ever again after that. So, well, not very likely anyway. But yeah, it's been very good fun. I've really enjoyed writing this series, actually, because it's been interesting taking bits of dialogue from the new series. Something will get a mention, like in a line, and then I find something and they talk about this, and I go, ooh, that's interesting, I wonder what that was. And then I completely give it an entire story based on one line of dialogue and completely create a mythos around it that, has no mythos around it. So that's quite interesting, getting just words or phrases and then making a story out of that and making an entire new piece of fiction around that. But yeah, it is just key scenes, key moments of the Time War over is an unspecific amount of time, because your length of the Time War could be greater or shorter than what I think it is. So I never ever put in any of the stories how long this is going on for. The time gap between some stories in this season could be a year, could be more than a year, could be hundreds of years, depending on how long this war went on for. So, you know, that's up to you. So it's never ever specifically stated how long the gaps between stories are. There's only one bout of that where it said, oh, it's been so long since this happened. But otherwise, you know, it's all very non-specific, just so, you know, people can make up extra stories that happen between these adventures, and should anything ever be revealed in the future, I can easily sort of say, oh yeah, that happened between those two stories, hopefully. But who knows? So that is the McGann Season 3, and that will be the final season of Paul McGann Adventures. Obviously I've already spoken about the other Doctor Who projects I've got going on, and where they're falling within things. I've got ideas for new stories with older Doctors. I've got 2 ideas for Tom Baker stories. I've got an idea for a John Pertwee story, because I quite like to use the new Joe Grant and the new Brigadier figure. I've got an idea for a Peter Davison story that's been kicking around in my head for ages. I've got a few ideas for different things. I've always got ideas for different things. I had an idea for an entirely new animated project the other day, and I thought, no, Matt, don't even go there, because I have no time to film Doctor Who, let alone going into the such and such universe. But I won't say what that was. But hopefully I might do it in the future. But my only clue is that it is science fiction, and it is a big blockbuster Hollywood film franchise that happens to is a science fiction series. And another clue is that it has recently been revealed that they are now making another film in this, what we all thought was finished franchise. But there we go. Other than that, that really is it. Someone asked recently about Masters of the Universe. That is something I still want to do. I'm hoping to do He-Man and the Masters of the Universe in 2014. Why have I delayed it so long? Well, a few figures weren't out yet that I really would like to have used in the pilot. One of which was Mechaneck. I now have Mechaneck, so he can now be in the pilot, which is what I would have liked. But the reason why I've delayed it even further isn't because of, well, obviously I've got all this Paul McGann Doctor Who to film, which is going to take a very long time. But the reason why I've delayed it even further than that is because they are now making a brand new Castle Grayskull playset. I have now ordered this Castle Grayskull playset. It is actually in scale with the Classics toys. If you saw the teaser trailer that I posted a little while back, that had a Castle Grayskull in it, but that was for a separate He-Man toy line, not the new modern figures that I'm using at the moment. So hopefully there will be a He-Man episode pilot in 2014, I hope. I would quite like to do it as just to serve as a break between all the Doctor Who that I'm going to be doing for 2013. I don't know whether I was originally thinking of making it like an origin story for He-Man. I don't know if I'll do that. I think I might just make it like a story, a He-Man story that just sort of very briefly introduces everyone, and then I'll see what goes on from there. So that's it really. Teranova, now not coming out till January. Paul McGann Series 3 now not coming out until some undisclosed period of time during next year. Probably, I don't know, not until summer, I don't know, it's going to be a while. And the Sylvester McCoy mini-season, that's not happening for a long time now. And Batman Season 2, that's not happening for a little while yet. And Masters of the Universe is still coming, but it may not happen quite so soon as I originally intended, and I may have another project planned in my brain. But, you know, that's it for now. But one more final thing. Now, just because I won't be releasing many animations at the beginning of 2013, obviously I'll have Teranova. That'll take up 5 weeks. And of course there's going to be the Paul McGann season, and that's going to last for like 13 weeks. It's almost like a full new series run. That doesn't mean that there's going to be this massive amount of time where there's going to be no content at all, other than action figure reviews. Because I'm still going to be doing the action figure reviews. And apparently there's a lot of stuff meant to be coming out between now and May, so fingers crossed we see some nice sets, and I will review them all for you. But this is the thing that I want to ask you. This is where you come in, my friends. I need to find out what else you would like to see from this channel. The reason why I'm asking this is because I want to try and make some more content for you that won't take up as much time as a full-blown animation. So, one of the things I was thinking of, obviously I review the Doctor Who action figures, the classic series stuff, and I was thinking, well, what other sort of videos could I make that could, you know, won't take so much time. I can like record and edit in a day, or even shorter than that really. And so obviously there's the action figure reviews. They don't take long to do. Obviously I've got a load of customs that I've not made any reviews of, sorry, in the past. And I know a lot of you are interested in how I made this chap, so maybe I can bring in some custom reviews over the beginning of 2013 during that period of no animations. But another thing I was thinking of was perhaps reviewing episodes of Doctor Who. Classic series episodes, even new series episodes. And, you know, I just sit and talk about what I think about this story. Is it a good story? Is it an abomination to mankind that should be burned in the fires of hell? Well, you know, that is a possibility. So I was thinking that if you guys were to join my Facebook group below, I could put like a poll up of, I don't know, say 5 or 6 different stories. You guys could vote on what story I review, and then I do a review of it, and then I bung it up on YouTube, and then we do the whole thing again. You know, you guys get to vote on what story I talk about. I'm going to do like a mixture of different ones, new ones, classic ones, and you know, I'll try and make them entertaining and funny if I can. So if you have any ideas for any videos like that, I mean, I don't want anyone saying, oh, why don't you make a fan film during that time? Because, no, a fan film takes more time to make than an action figure adventure, so that wouldn't be possible. But, you know, things like that, things where I can just do something like this, just talk to a camera, or, you know, just do something silly or marginal. So have a little think on that, and if you do have any other ideas, if you like the idea of doing custom reviews still, please say below. I'm sure a few of you do. If you like the sound of me reviewing episodes, then please post that below, because I'll say some funny things, especially about some of the newer stories that you all know I'm not so keen on. So if you like those ideas, yeah, please post below, thumbs up, yes, do that, that'd be great. And if you have any other ideas that I haven't thought of, because I can't really think of much, you know, please post them below in the comments section. And I know Catherine's going to be asking this in a Batman Manxum Foe behind the scenes video that she's doing, talking about that. She's also going to ask the same question: what sort of content would you like to see coming from this channel? So if you watch that and then you think of something else, just post it below on her comments, or personal message her or me, or, you know, either of us, or put it on the Facebook, put it on there, say, you know, this is what I'd like to see coming from your videos, and that would be fantastic. So this is where I need your help, because I want to make sure that this channel doesn't just go dead for X amount of months, and that you get to see new things and funny things and whatever. So there we go. So that's it from me. Have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. have a very good new year. Don't get drunk. I'm sure some of you will, some of you won't. I won't. And yeah, I will see you in my next video, whichever that will be. So you'll either be Teranova, or it could be a review of a Doctor Who story. Maybe I'll review The Snowman, coming at Christmas. Who knows? So, thanks all for, thank you all for your continued support. Thank you so much for watching the Batman series. Thank you so much for enjoying all the videos that have come out this year. And I hope to continue to entertain you into 2013 with the Time War series of Paul McGann adventures, and hopefully some other bits and pieces along the way. Thank you all for watching, guys, and I shall see you next time.